morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream. Today, Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Nano. Dennis Crockett on TV. He's on the camera there today, so we'll give him a little shout out. Boy, what a beautiful day in South Florida. It is absolutely spectacular. Brian, I got to go out on the turf course this morning, do a little hit, and not hit, video.
I got you.
I don't want people to think I was smoking out there or something like that. So, just a beautiful the way it came out. It came out wrong, but just a beautiful day in South Florida. Fast main track, firm turf course. Just a great day for racing. And what are they guessing? 225, I think.
2 1/4 in the estimated Rainbow Six. So that's going to be a big pool, and it took him a little while, but I think what Ronnie meant to come up with at the end was that the weather's beautiful, the turf is beautiful, we're fast and firm. We got 4 of the 8 races on the grass today.
Fantastic, yeah, I couldn't forget. We also got the Tropical Turf Pick 3, which is going to kick off in race number 3 this afternoon. I thought it was going to start in the first, but 4 turf races this afternoon, and the rail would be set at 17 feet throughout the day, and that's why we're going to start it off with a mile on the turf, and these are maiden claimers for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. We're going to scratch the 4 slice away. Hall of Famer Nick Zito going to sit this one out, and Brian put his early pick 5 ticket together.
Take a look at it now, $36 play. Very few scratches on the card, but some of them are pretty meaningful. In race number 2, speaking of which, I do scratch into the 6. That is Boots. Arundel's got a couple in there. Race number 3, I scratch into the 3, and that is Roost from Marty Drexler. Race number 4, my best bet of the day is the 4, Emerald Ember. And I've got a long shot, Ronnie, that should be, even though there are 2 scratches in race 5, the 1, My Denise, should be a number in there for Ruben Sierra. So there's a $36 early pick 5 ticket.
Yeah, and race number 3 is where both the Rainbow Six and the Tropical Turf Pick 3 will kick off, so his ticket will be part of that situation. Getting to this first race, Brian, I see that you're using both the 6 and the 6 She's Chloe and the 8 in timing, and we have a replay we want to show you of those 2 horses.
Yeah, I mean,
it's 2 back, right?
Yeah, 2 back, because it's the turf race, and they certainly look like the 2 in here, because this is a thick of the championship meet turf race. Here's in timing, not really running off on the lead, but probably being a little ambitious and a little aggressive, to be honest. And this is under the apprentice at 29-1, and she threw a scare in all these gals and didn't quite see it out. Was beaten 3/4 of a length, but She's Chloe's going to rally and going to be close to in timing. They ran 3-4 in this race, but the purpose of this replay, and you can see She's Chloe down the inside the 2. The purpose of this replay is that in timing has speed, She's Chloe doesn't. In timing also has Paco Lopez, and I promise you, Paco probably would have dragged her home that day for the win.
25-1.
Yeah, or she would have been nicked on the line, because obviously he's one of the cagiest and speed riders, but one of the strongest finishing riders as well.
Well, we said that was 2 back. So last race, She's Chloe was on the Tapeta for Brendan Walsh. So I want to show you stat with horses going from Tapeta to turf for Brian Lynch, and here Brendan Walsh, turf to Tapeta, 14%, 42% in the money. Doesn't do it often, 50 times over the years, over 5 years.
Yep.
Sammy Camacho had a couple of wins the other day, will be in the saddle.
Yeah, Sammy is as good as anyone we have here. If you're not familiar with the job he does, he's going to be a high percentage rider for as long as he sticks around, I guess.
Yeah, and then we both use Clockwork and a third who can, for Jeff Engler, certainly can come up, and if things get dicey on the front end, grab a share, maybe spring the upset,
I think she's a wake-up candidate, because here's a Street Sense filly out of a Kitten's Joy mare. So 5.5 on the Tapeta is way too short for her. Plus, with that Kitten's Joy on the bottom, you're getting turf in 2 turns today. Yeah, she could wake up for Jeff.
Race number 2 this afternoon, 4.5 furlongs. That's right, 2-year-old fillies are making their day. This is our first 2-year-old race of the meet. Scratch the 4, Silver Magic. And Brian went with the number 6. Well, you scratched into the number 6, Boots.
Yeah, it's kind of sort of a post position. race to me. Arundel's got a couple of homebreds. They've got the one Dorothy as well, but Boots here did well to draw better than the 1 and the 2 Celtic Dispute. Brethren has been so good to Brian and the family, the Arundel family. The dam was unraced, but she was also a daughter of the champion Wait a While, so that's pretty good. Second foal, the other one could not run at all. We'll see what we get today.
Well, let's show you a stat with Jorge Delgado with his 2-year-old first-time starters. I like to do this when we have the 2-year-olds first starting. And the 2-year-old first-time starters, he's 21% solid, 43% in the money, 125 is the return of investment. I always had the number 2 Celtic Dispute on top of my ticket. I know you want to show work for this horse.
Yeah, I'm a little irritated. There was a bullet gate drill after all this was said and done, so she probably will be favored in here. I would have probably made her the morning line favorite. I got to be honest with you, this drill is not very good. And that's why I put her further down. Right. But then you see on April 10th, and like I said, this has got to be over early. She worked from the gate 35-3 in a bullet. Certainly looks like she picked it up quite a bit. The dam was just 1 for 4, but she did win her debut. The 8th foal, none of them could run. They were 0 for 6 in their debut, but it certainly looks like she turned up the dial a little bit, and Patrick Biancone with these Leinsters has been very, very good.
What's your stat with Patrick Biancone with his first-time starters? And there you see it up there. And he is 18% with a bigger sampling, 55% in the money, 117. They were betting him like crazy last year. A lot of those 2-year-olds were on the turf. This is just overall, so certainly can get horses to run. Jose Gomez will be in the saddle. You mentioned the number 1 horse in here, Dorothy. That's the other horse that Carlos David left in the race. What do we make of this horse with Pacalito in the saddle?
There's a whole bunch of different things going on because Carlos David scratches the 4. Arundel, as I mentioned, has the 1 and the 6, but as Ronnie showed you, the 6 is with Delgado. So I don't know. Paco's here. The dam was 4 for 16. She was okay. This is another one of these Brethrens. 5th foal. None of them won on debut, but this gal is a full sister to Olga, who we know around here, and she was okay. Olga earned over $300,000. So this is a nice little family here. I have to think anytime you're reaching for Paco, to me, that kind of says something in and of itself.
We know absolutely not what we're going to get with the number 3 Satira. This one, debuting for Victor Barboza Jr., coming off works on the farm. Hard to gauge. You don't know. This is where, especially if you're putting a pick 4 together, you have to watch the board where they're going on here.
Correct. She's ridiculously slow on paper, but as Ronnie said, that's the farm. We didn't see them. They paid 10 for a daughter of Mind Control. Who knows? Watch the tote.
Yep, watch the tote. Race 3, we're back on the turf. 1 mile on a firm turf course. These are claimers, as you mentioned at the top. The rail is 17 feet. And these are 4-year-olds and upward. We're going to scratch the 4 Paris Surprise and the 7 Test Factor. Now, this kicks off both the Rainbow and the Tropical Turf Pick 3. So I'll start with my Rainbow 6 ticket here this afternoon. And you'll see it here. And I think it's $43.20. Yes, it is. We'll talk about the third in a moment. 4th race, 3 deep for me. 1, 2, and 4. My top pick is Moment of Love. That's my long shot this afternoon, trying to get a little bit of a price. Race number 5 this afternoon. There's my single of the day, Super Landslide, and that one is looks like pretty good in there. Race number 6, the 3-horse You Signed It is my top pick in there, and race number 7. 4 deep for me. I'm trying to tell us something here with the 1 Justina. Something's going on here.
He's trying to tell us we were supposed to take a commercial. There's only 8
because I'm not used to these races. Well, can we take it afterwards?
I think we can take it after.
We can take it after. Sorry, boys. Hey, this 8 race cards fooled me. I didn't know what they were trying to tell me. So $43.20 for that. Let's show the Tropical Turf Pick 3. Then we'll take our break. There it is, $36. 4 deep for me in race number 3. There's my single once again in race number 5, the 6-horse in there, and that is Super Landslide. 3 deep in the last one, 4 and 8, $36. Now we'll take a commercial this afternoon.
Give them a little homework.
Yeah, I thought they could tell us in our ear or something, but no, let's go. Let's see it if we can do it. I don't know if we can even do it now.
Win big with new DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views, Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
There comes a moment when the next adventure is yours to choose. Imagine your next ride, not to another destination, but to a world you step inside. My Racehorse makes real racehorse ownership possible, with top trainers and accomplished owners in the sport's biggest races. Access once limited to a few, now open to you. This isn't a single race. It's the start of a lifelong pursuit. Begin the journey with My Racehorse.
What a nice commercial it was. Race number 4 this afternoon. 5.
No, we still have to talk about the third race. So.
Oh. Now I'm all confused. Now I'm all confused up here. Well, let Brian, take it over. What do you like in here? Do you like Roos?
I scratch into Roos today. I kind of wanted to fade this horse. I think you would agree that the Drexler horses are have they been a little underwhelming?
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
And they're not really betting them that much either, which is very surprising. I do scratch into Roos, but the bottom line is the 35 Roos comes out of 2 starts back on March 1st. The thick of the championship meet is much, much better than the 35 he's running in today.
You know, Sing Sing is going to go back to the grass this afternoon. Ran a good second last time on the all-weather Tapeta, and I think they found the course's proper level. It ran well. Going to go to the turf. Sonny Leone, Kentucky Derby winning jockey, back in South Florida. He'll be on there. He didn't ride that badly in South Florida. So Sing Sing, I just thought up that performance. Now, you look at its record on the turf, 6 starts, 2 wins, a second and a third. So this horse doesn't run on the Gulfstream turf, but he ran on other turf courses very well. So I just thought he was a major player in here.
Yeah, and the thing I like about him, I know he's never run here, but as Ronnie said, 2 for 6. Those races weren't at Woodbine. So it's not like the Tapeta races were at Turfway. He was in Kentucky for Team Cassie. So we talk about the Woodbine horses that come down here. Maybe they need a spin or two. I don't think he's got that worry, Ron.
You got Spy Novel today, who was a little up against it with that 1.5-mile turf race last time against $35,000 optional claimers. This one loves the Gulfstream turf.
Yeah, I worry he's a little slow and not classy enough. The last time he was on turf in a proper spot, because Ron's right, 1.5 miles, no bueno. He was a distant third for 20 in the middle of the summer. I don't know if that's going to cut it today.
6 Baker Street, 2 back, puts this horse in a hump with this level of competition.
Yeah, he can get a piece underneath, I think, coming on late. We'll show you walking in Memphis.
Well,
he was game, and he was good
he was
on the
headed
lead.
in that race.
Yeah, he was. And this is I wanted to show this. I know it's a Tapeta race, but he was very, very game. Now, the problem for him is it's a 35-2L, and he's all out against these dudes here. And now I would assume Sing Sing's going to try to put a little pressure on him early. You got Paco on walking in Memphis. And you can see right here, it does not really look like he's going to win. And he's a very, very game horse. So I wanted to show you that. And he's going to be in front. The question is, how much pressure does anybody put on him? And don't forget, he is wired. It was his career debut, actually, at something like 23-1. He is wired on this turf course to post his career win.
Yeah, that was back a while back. But certainly that was on the Tapeta, of course, that last race. So race number 3 is in the books now, and that's where everything starts. Tropical Turf Pick 3, my Rainbow 6 this afternoon. Race number 4 this afternoon, 5 furlongs on the Tapeta. It is fillies and mares, 3-year-olds, and Upward, and Brian has his late pick 5 team.
Yeah, we've talked about the first 2 legs. Race 5 is my long shot with the 1, my Denise. Race number 6, I've got the 4, Tomosita on top for Louis Ramirez, a comebacker. Haven't been out since the middle of August. Race number 7, I've got the 7 on top. Eileen's a Warrior on the outside for Mary Leitner. And to wrap it up, I'm all screwed up with this 8-race card too, Ronnie. 88 for me, 77 and 88. Jayhawk on the outside for DeBona on the 35 for himself. 2 back, dropping to 20 today.
Well, you have that single in here with the number 4, Emerald Ember for George Weaver. It certainly looks like a major player.
Yeah, without a doubt. And this is my best bet of the day. Unproven on Tapeta. I get that. But George is 23% on Tapeta. And this horse's 2 best runs by far were on turf. Gets to put Lasix back today. And to me, Ron, the most important thing is the post position drawn outside of Ocala Gala, who will probably be the horse to catch with Paco aboard.
My long shot today is the number 2, Moment of Love. You remember this one put I read over the rail. Shows 2 gate works in stem, which I like. After jumping the rider, as we mentioned in the debut. The barn is good with first-time blinkers, 20%, surface switch, jockey. Everything that they do is good. Carlos David's barn has been on fire.
Yep.
I'm going to give this horse one more chance, and I'm hoping I get a little bit of price. I like the blinkers. I like the 2 gate works, and I love the connections today to get something done with Miguel Vasquez in the saddle.
Yeah, I hope you do get a price. I mean, she was 9-1 with IRAD in her debut, so they didn't bet anything on her. Remember, it was either last week or the week before. She was drawn in the 1 hole, and she scratched. So I still wonder if she could be a little wonky at the gate. At least she gets off the rail today, and as Ronnie said, they've been working with her 2 gate drills back-to-back.
That's what put me there. And I was looking for a price. I mean, underneath, I certainly have your horse on the ticket. What about the 1 Ocala Gala? This one from Mr. Mark Cassie, and previous trained by Cherie DeVille.
Yeah, so kind of a newcomer to Mark's barn at least. Was at the fairgrounds, got a lot of speed, couldn't see it out at 2 turns, has run much better last time sprinting. She was 6-5 and 4-5 in those 2 races. Paco's going to be aggressive. I would assume he's going to put her on the lead. We'll see what she can do on the Tapeta.
Also, I want to go back. I want to show you a stat on A Moment of Love in here, because this horse is going to go from Tapeta to turf to Tapeta this afternoon with blinkers, 3 for 5, 60%, 80% in the money, 456. So they figured out the what to do when this horse changes surface, put the blinkers on. So maybe that helps my long shot this afternoon.
And you get Miguel Vasquez, who's been off to a torrid start at the championship or at the Royal Palm meet.
Yeah, just. We only have a 6-horse field. I don't think I'll get 8-1, but you never know in here. Race number 5 this afternoon is 1 mile on the turf. It's an allowance, and these are state-bred fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. We're going to scratch the 2 Kala and also the 8 Little Torch. And, Brian, I'll start first with my best bet of the afternoon, and that is the 6 Landside, the horse that I singled in all my tickets. This one, drops in from stakes competition, gets the Lasix back. We're talking about Sonny Leon with Mark Cassie. They're 18% together, and I just think the drop, getting the Lasix back, this one's going to class up nicely. If you go up the performance 2 back, which we'll show right now, maybe you use this horse.
This is a big, big effort from this horse, way over her head last time on Derby Day. Look at the pedigree here. Victory to Victory was a Grade 1 winner up at Woodbine for these very connections. Tap It on the top, obviously. This is a monster Florida-bred pedigree, and I played her this day, and I could not believe they didn't bet a nickel on her, all things considered. She is facing winners, in the Florida-bred ranks today, but this is heady stuff. I love to see Sonny Leon pick up this mount. He obviously rode some winners over across the state from Mark at Tampa. 15%. He had a nice winter over there, riding a ton over at Tampa, and look at her streak home, Ronnie. So I think this is a very, very dangerous horse with her friends today in a world of upside. And oh, by the way, getting Lasix back on today too.
And that was on Tapeta last time, and as you mentioned, was stakes competition. Sandoval, as I said, the reason she was my bet this afternoon, my best bet. But you have your long shot in the inside with my Denise for Ruben Sierra, was second on the Tapeta last time.
Yeah, so this is a stab, admittedly, but Ron's horse and the other favorite in here, Sapphire Girl, they're not wildly fast on paper. My Denise, the turf race 2 starts back, was off a pretty, a sizable layoff. And I didn't think she was horrible. I know she just beat 1 horse home, but she was only beaten 8.5 lengths in a solid race. The runner-up comes back to win, and then she moves way forward on the Tapeta last time. And obviously it could be the Tapeta, but now she's also making her 3rd start off that long layoff. She certainly improved last time. She's got a good post and a little bit of speed. And Ruben Sierra, after really a snake bit 2025 where nothing really went well, so off to a good start this year, and maybe this horse at a big number taking a stab. I firmly feel that Ron's horse is the one to beat.
The City Minute go to the lead.
City Minute off the sprints.
Off all those sprints.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think
Yes.
would be as bad. I don't know how fast this horse will be, but certainly might throw a monkey wrench into everything that's happening on the front end.
Yeah, I mean, Safi might have this race bookended a little bit
Right.
because he's got this gal stretching out City Minute,
Right.
and he's also got Sapphire Girl, who's the other favorite in here, and she's no great shakes. She has no speed either, and I think it's now, Edgard wasn't necessarily riding a ton for Safi anymore anyway, but you're going to see it Saturday in the stakes. I just feel like you have to take note now, and I hate to do the musical chair jockey thing too much. You just have to see where Micah Husbands is when Safi's got a couple in here.
And on the outside, if you guys want to bet tries and supers, Bayou Bridget, you just haven't seen this horse since February. But what was wrong with that state
Nothing.
fed allowance race where the horse closed to be second for Heather Smullen, and our buddy Lionel Reyes will be in the saddle.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this horse at all. You could come up with a way to put her on top. Lagina is a very good stakes filly for Patrick B. and Cone. Lionel on the precipice of 1,000 career wins. It'll come sooner rather than later. And literally every day Lionel rides here, he's going to get better and better and better because of the long layoff. So she's a big player in here, Ron.
And if you want guys, a jock to bring home a couple of long shots for you, he's the man to have.
The
I'm
man,
telling you.
absolutely.
So he'll be back, and he's looking good. He said he's feeling great, so that's really good news. This horse, you make a great point, what you just said, Brian. You could make a case to put that one on
Yes,
top today.
absolutely. She's not far behind anybody you think might be the horse to beat.
Race 6 this afternoon. They're going to sprint at 5 1/2 furlongs on the Tapeta. It is a maiden claimer, and it's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, and no scratches or jockey changes in here. And you went with the number 4, La Tomosita.
It's a stab. She hasn't been out since August 15th in a maiden special weight. She was beaten 17 in a good maiden special weight for the level epigram, and then Canton came back for Safi and won. She's worked very forwardly. Hadn't really seen much of her on the Tapeta as well. Going to return with Lasix. And here's the other thing. The 3 favorites are all to her inside. She's outside of them. I like that in these spots.
Well, I went when you signed it.
Yeah.
You look at that last. We'll show it to you. Broke from the rail last time out. I thought it ran pretty well. It was up on the pace. It got pretty much hounded, too.
I did. Yeah, we're going to show it because she did. Now, she was bet hard in this spot here. 9-5 for Koy and Chickendaz in her debut. She couldn't quite see it out. The problem with her is this was at 12-5. So there's 2 things going on here. It's an aggressive move by Ronald Koy to bump her from 12-5 to 35. That's a confident move. She lost nothing in defeat. I mean, you're seeing her here trying to see it out the hard way down on the inside here. Just couldn't quite hold off, lean on her, who's going to rally late. That's the 5 horse who was favored in this race. Ron's also got the 2, and who is a 35 horse. So you signed it is dangerous, Ron. This is a much better group she's facing today. So hopefully she'll offer a little more value today.
Yeah, she is ran out on the inside. Want to tip out on this Tapeta we've seen throughout the whole year. So
Correct.
maybe this horse was not on the best part of the Tapeta course. So certainly a horse that I put on top, and you mentioned it too, our perfect Amanda. What did this horse do wrong? Ran okay for its debut at 35.
Yeah, the interesting thing is this is the stablemate of Ron's pick, and she's probably every bit as fast as her early. So what's going to go on there with our perfect Amanda, who was chasing 22 flat, 44 and 435 last time. So she's the 1 and the 2 are the house horses here. They ran at this level last time, whereas the 3 is rising. It's a pretty solid rise too, Ron.
The number 1, Jenna Draya. This one from Sandino Hernandez Jr. and got a bullet work showing, well, that was, just recently, March 31st, and ran an okay 4th in its debut.
Yeah, everything Ron said is 100% accurate. She did run fine. The rail is not ideal. Don't think, Sandino Hernandez, he's 0 for 2. Who's this guy? He's a very sharp guy that's done a lot of winning here in the summer the past 3, 4, 5 years, that knows the score and knows what to do with a nice horse and where to put them as well. I think this horse is going to move forward off that debut race.
Miguel Vasquez
yeah.
in the saddle this afternoon. Race number 7, 6 1/2 furlongs. A starter optional claimer, fillies 3-year-olds in here with 7 going to the post with no scratches or jockey changes. Brian, you went to the outside. with the number 7, and that is Eileen's Warrior.
Yeah, total bomb job at Colonial for Mary Leitner. Won off by 9.5 lengths. It was a restricted race up there. She is a Florida bred. And you might think, well, she went up there and beat up on a bunch of saps. That's possibly the case. She ran very well behind a next out winner, repeat winner in her debut here in January. This post is perfect. And the other thing is there's a couple other horses like the 6, who's Ronnie's a little trepidatious about too. You don't really know where their form is. That's the thing.
Well, this horse, that was in the snow. So you're not going to get the snow today.
Snow.
So it's the snow off angle. I don't know how that works out, but we very rarely have snow here in South Florida. We've had some cold winters, but we actually had snow in 1978 when I was here, but that's a story for another day. So I just thought that was funny that it says snow on there in April.
Snow, yeah.
Snow.
That was the day before, I think, the Virginia Derby day.
Yeah,
It was wild.
Wild snow. And it was
Yes.
good the next day. And,
Yes.
those horses, they're like Maryland horses, right? You would consider the horses that are Colonial? I mean, they don't really ship in from everywhere.
The dirt horses, I
Yeah.
agree totally. The turf racing are good. The dirt horses, probably
Yeah.
right.
Number 1, Justina. This is Saffie Joseph Jr. You go back to its maiden victory. That was on the main track back in January. Went okay. Didn't run badly against these state-bred optional claimers. Last time was on the sloppy track.
She's fine. I don't want to knock her too much. I feel like she is what she is. She's going to rally and get a piece. It could be good enough today. If you're playing real tickets and you're playing real horizontal tickets, you have to use her. You have to. This is a spread race, Ron.
Yeah, I went 4 deep in there.
Yeah.
Eileen's Warrior, as you mentioned, comes off that monster win, and that's what Drama did too. Now this first off the race by Gabby Superiotti, and this one was a pretty good performance.
Yeah.
Just drew up to win it by 3 1/4 lengths, albeit against cheaper.
Yeah, 30 cents on the dollar. You like this angle. She's a 3-time winner. There's a
Right.
bunch of one-fers
Right.
in here. She's got 3 of them, so that's a pretty big
And
deal.
she's the speed, no?
She's one of the speeds.
speeds.
If can you move up or can maintain the form off Saffie? Maybe a little easier said than done. But yes, she's probably going to be in front in here.
Yeah, I came this close to putting it on top
Mm-hmm.
this afternoon for the reasons you just mentioned about that.
Let's take a look at the 2.
Yeah, it's
I
Starship
think,
Juliet.
I think Barry Croft made a good claim here. And Barry's done good work at the claim box in the past. You think of Hope in him and what he did with that horse. This gal was 6-5 for Will Walden in her debut. So they kind of knew and they bet her, and she ran accordingly. Does she get set up? Yeah, well, maybe she does a little bit. But anytime you're debuting and you can shut off like she did and let other horses roll past and then still run them down, I kind of think it's a feather in your cap. They're going to go fast again here. She is stepping up and she's facing winners, but I think she's an interesting horse, and I would expect, Ron, that she's probably going to fall through the cracks a little bit on the tote board.
I used her in the bottom half of my
Okay,
ticket
yeah.
just for all the reasons you mentioned. Joe Bravo's going to jump aboard this afternoon, stretching out to 6.5, and you're right about that. But with that said, they were betting everything that Will Walden brought to the
Very
post.
true. Very true.
So that is. What about the 6? No Mo Hijinks, who we both had a little bit of interest in here.
She's literally run one race in her life that would hit the board here. It was 2 starts back. At 3-2, she was dreadful last time. Bumped at the start. I'm not buying it. Everybody's bumped at the start in every race that's ever
Right.
been
Favored
run.
too.
Favored. It's Paco. It's DeBona. I assume they're going to come back to her. Wouldn't shock me at all if she's a favorite in here.
Yeah.
Ronnie's kind of doing the same thing I'm doing. Put her down.
Yeah. Further down. Final race on this 8 race card. See how that works out. 1 mile on the turf. Claimers, 4-year-olds and upward. And we have no scratches in the last race. And Brian, you did go with the number 8 horse in here, and that is Jayhawk.
Not the greatest post, Ron, but as he mentioned at the start, Ronnie did. The rails are at 17 feet, so that's not terrible. Jayhawk's got some solid speed to work out a trip. Diego Herrera, we got to mention him, huh?
Yeah.
It's been very impressive
Yeah,
since
he's
he
got
came over here.
A lot of wins. 6
wins, yeah. 6 for 20, so a good job for him since he's come over from the West Coast. The 35 that Bobby ran this horse in off the claim on March 1st, so much better than this group. I know he only beat a couple horses home, but he was only beaten 4 3/4 lengths. I think he's going to roll today.
Let's show a stat with Mr. DeBona going from Tapita to turf this afternoon. And it is 16%, 43%, 121. Okay, not great, not bad.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Now, if he's another guy, if you're not, familiar with summer racing here, Bobby's in the mid to upper 20s with everything he does. He's not 4 for 49. I promise you that. This is as top of summer barn as we have here.
Walter Milad is where I went with Bo Chapman. Boy, what a job Bo Chapman has been doing at the meet. I think he's just all his horses are running. Jumps in, he grabs this horse on the Tapeta for 10, puts him up to 20 on Tapeta, does not run badly, comes back, runs third, beaten a length by Jayhawk. Goes to the turf this afternoon. This horse has tried the turf 6 times, 2 wins, 2 seconds. It's just a matter of me. Inside speed, I'm going to take a shot with Miguel Vasquez.
Listen, anything Bo has sent out has been very, very live. He's run well now twice off the claim on Tapeta, and now he's going to spin over on turf where he's 4 for 6 in the exacta lifetime. Yeah, you could do worse than landing here, that's for sure.
Yeah, both those races, they were trying to get him on the turf. They were rained out. So, that was the plan all along since the claim. Not that he just ran him, but he wants the horse on the turf. Jim's hope is Marty Drexler. They're going to put the blinkers on, trying to find some speed for this horse. Finish 6th behind Jayhawk and Walter Milad.
Right. If you like Jayhawk, because he's out of the same 35 race, 2 starts back, you got to like Jim's Hope a little bit. But as I kind of mentioned, the Drexler horses, to me, haven't really been firing maybe like you thought they would.
Number 2, Shinigami. This one from Steve Caceres comes out of a pretty good race that produced a couple of next winners. First off, the claim by Steve, and Paco Lopez going to jump aboard.
Yeah, I think you, Ron, with Walter Milad are going to know after about 20, 25 seconds if you have a chance or not. Right. Because if Paco is going with your horse, both of them are in trouble. Yeah. Maybe one of them gets clear early and the other settles. It's going to be interesting into that first turn.
Yeah, all about the pace in the finale this afternoon. So that is the 8 races for us, but we are not done. We have our lightning round this afternoon, and the lightning round is going to start off as I like every time we start the week off with what's going on statistic-wise.
Yeah, and Miguel Vasquez continues to a white-hot start at the meet, and that's great to see. But there's Sammy Camacho we talked about earlier. Boy, he is so good. Diego Herrera. That's
percentage-wise, he's up there, boy.
Yeah, credit to him in the mounts he's getting. Kevin Meeks, right? His guy. So putting him on live horses. Paco's been bobbing and weaving a little bit because otherwise we know he'd be right up there too.
He will be, depending on how long he stays until Monmouth opens or wherever he goes this year. What do we have with the trainers now?
Victor Barboza Jr., a tepid lead over Carlos David, who's better than Dave Fox. Great to see Joe Arsino up there, and Jose too.
Safi Joseph Jr. not up there.
Yeah, been a little quiet, huh? He's got the 2 favorites in the stakes on Saturday, the Mo Green, but been a little quiet.
Fan Day.
Yeah, so we're going to remind you. We'll remind you tomorrow, too. But Saturday is Fan Appreciation Day here at Gulfstream Park. Discounted items, hot dogs and beers, and there's food. There's the food and drink. The old T-shirt cannon prize promotion with your first bet accounts and all that kind of stuff. So come on out here. It's supposed to be a great day. We've got 11 solid races for you as well. Turf and stakes and all that good stuff.
Yeah, good card on Saturday. The watch party, Kentucky Derby watch party is always a lot of fun here. You got mint juleps, photo booth, cash bar. Wow, got it all.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Obviously, that's the first Saturday in May. And the Oaks is, I don't know if I think you're aware of this. The Oaks is prime time this year.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's like 8:50 or something like that, 8:45 on Friday night. So that'll be, this place will be popping as it always is on Derby weekend.
Yeah, Derby weekend. And if you can't make it to Kentucky and pay a lot of money for those seats, come here and enjoy it upstairs in 10 Palms or right here around the track, and come say hello to Brian. And we'll see how it goes out. What about the best bet today, Brian?
Emerald Ember in race 4, 44, Emerald Ember.
Mine is in race 5, and it is the number 6 horse in here, Super Landslide, 2-1 on the board. Your long shot today?
Well, I'm trying to beat Super Landslide, who I agree wholeheartedly is the horse to beat, but it's the one, My Denise, in that same race.
And my long shot is in race number 4 this afternoon, 8-1. Got to see if this one can keep a straight course this afternoon for top connections.
I love that. My long shot's with your best bet. Your long shot's with my best bet.
See that?
There you go.
We'll see what happens. We'll see when the smoke clears. Who was right and who was wrong. We'll probably both be.
Could both be wrong.
Well, that's it. We're going to turn it over to Pete Aiello with all the changes you need. Brian and I will be here all day long.